Whether it's power, food, sex, or just affirmation, is it better to be a diplomat or a conqueror? For 75 years, scientists have been studying macaques on an isolated island in the Caribbean. The monkeys have been watching them too. Now, decades of research on our primate cousins may shed new light on why humans behave the way we do. A 1,000 rhesus macaques have been cut off from the rest of the world for 3/4 of a century, resulting in a unique society. The only other primates allowed on Cayo Santiago Island are human researchers.
I remember coming out here my first day, and I felt like it was this big, mysterious Jurassic Park kind of place. It was just so bizarre and so exciting. So there was 1,000 monkeys living on this island. This island is only for monkeys. There's actually nobody that lives on the island.
Primatologist Clarence Carpenter created the Cayo colony in 1938 by bringing 400 monkeys from India to learn more about their behavior. His early footage is disturbing. At first, the macaques were extremely violent towards each other. Then, forced to live together, they began to organize into different groups. Since then, psychologists, biologists, and geneticists have documented the monkeys' social interactions and uncovered clues about the roots of our own behavior.
From a psychologist's perspective, my guess is that somehow, once we wound up as a group living species, we had to build mechanisms to be nice to each other. It made sense for our individual survival to care about the group.
Group F is the largest and highest-ranking group and has ruled the island for 40 years. Its leader is an alpha male named Chester, known for his easygoing nature.
He's not the most attractive monkey. His head is a little bit squished. When he was younger, there was some terrible accident and he fell on his head and everybody thought he was going to die. And then he ended up becoming the highest-ranking monkey on the island.
Chester's group has other males, and ranking third is Tony. He's considered the most aggressive monkey on the island. Macaques are very physical creatures, and every day there's plenty of fighting, grooming, and sex.
We can take, for example, all of the behaviors that we classify as aggressive, so biting, chasing, hitting, threatening, and we can construct a network from that. And we can take other behaviors that we consider to be nice, affiliative behaviors, like grooming is the #1 affiliative behavior in rhesus macaques. And from that, we can construct a different network.
Chester, the alpha, exchanges a lot of grooming. But Tony is at the very edge of this social network. Initial research indicates that Chester rose to the top by benevolence, while Tony guards his status through aggression.
Everybody fights with everybody in rhesus macaque society.
But while everyone fights with everyone, Tony is at the very center of the aggression network. When mating season rolls around, both affection and hostility intensify, along with low-ranking monkeys spying and reporting to the macaques in charge. High-ranking males mate openly as part of their ranking rights, but that's not the case for everyone. Who is allowed to hook up with whom is very defined. But some intrepid couples sneak away to the forest in order to have privacy. The consequence for this disloyalty can be severe. A female named O, part of Group 5, tries to lure a male from a different group away from prying eyes. Tony is the self-appointed head of the sex police. O doesn't see danger coming until Tony suddenly appears to mete out punishment.
If you look at the brain of a rhesus macaque and you look at the brain of a human, really what you're seeing is that we are working with a 30-million-year-old device. This computing mechanism between our ears has expanded greatly, but it contains all the same circuits that you find in a rhesus macaque.
Researchers study macaques to pinpoint the differences between human behavior and that of other primates. Most humans believe that cheating on their partner is wrong. But do monkeys have similar thoughts?
The way we actually study monkeys is a little bit weird. In many of our studies, what we do is we set up these pretty strange experiments. It's kind of like a play. We let the monkeys actually watch humans interacting with each other. We didn't used to think that monkeys could actually get inside each other's heads at all. We used to think that it was just humans that did that. Now we know from work here on Cayo that that's not correct. We know that the monkeys can think about what others know.
While natural selection relies somewhat on merciless competition and defending an individual's own interests, the survival of the species depends upon the individual's ability to identify with others.
My guess is that the kind of care you see in Cayo, just the standard things like moms looking after their infant, moms being very worried about their infant, this is the beginning of empathy that we see. It makes total sense that natural selection would build in these kind of very caring, very kind of nice behaviors.
Power in rhesus monkey societies depends on support from other individuals. They live in these large groups. They depend on other rhesus monkeys. They could not survive by themselves.
But helping family first also leads to a nepotistic society.
So rhesus monkeys provide a very good opportunities to study how nepotism works and what an important influence it has on life and a society. Nepotism is a universal phenomenon in nature. In all animal species, individuals tend to help their relatives at the expense of non-relatives.
The geneticists on Cayo Island believe that the behaviors of individuals are due to their DNA. Genes associated with behavior are passed from generation to generation, and behaviors which promote the survival of the species are retained. Serotonin is a chemical found in the brain that helps to regulate moods, social behavior, appetite, and sexual desire.
Certain individuals with certain serotonin genes seem to be more in the mix. They're more social, they're more embedded in the social network. And other individuals with other serotonin genotypes are more asocial, so they tend to not spend very much time grooming other individuals. Chester, who we knew was the alpha male, and we knew he was right in the middle of the grooming network. And he has serotonin genes that function very well.
Chester's serotonin genes enable him to easily make alliances and ultimately climb to the top of the island's hierarchy. Could this research have a lesson for us? Humans and other primates have subconscious urges that are self-serving. Scientists call these basal tendencies, or instincts.
It's very challenging looking at these questions in terms of what is uniquely human and our ability to regulate our kind of basal instincts. But I think that capacity is there. And one of the things that's really intriguing about the last decade of neuroscience is that we've begun to reveal some of the actual biological mechanisms that seem to help us to regulate our more basal tendencies.
The ability to regulate aggression and encourage cooperation between humans is not studied on Cayo Island. But research on macaques will help scientists to understand us.
There's a difference between explaining something as being natural and saying this is the right way to behave. Biology is not destiny. It doesn't say, oh, because your behavior has evolved, this is your destiny, this is the way you should behave in the future. No, you can change it if you want.